The Dodgers walk it off in extra innings. Is there such thing as a must-win game in May? You betcha. For the Dodgers, there is. We'll break it all down next on the Dodgers Nation postgame show.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
Tommy takes strikes again, and the Dodgers lead 3-0. Gibby, make Freddie. Tommy sets on the air, the other way, back it goes, gone! One of a kind player, one of a kind season.
What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Thanks for rocking with us after the Dodgers get the dub in extra innings. They beat the Arizona Diamondbacks. They snapped the 4-game losing streak. They win by a final score of 4-3. They improved to 30-19 on the season. This is a Dodgers team gone 21-18. In the last couple weeks of play, just playing around 500 baseball after that 8-0 start, and you get swept by the Angels. You lose the first game to the Diamondbacks in this series, and then you come back tonight behind an incredible, brilliant performance by Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who was looking like he was going to throw that no-hitter. He had the no-hit stuff, but he was phenomenal tonight. He was absolutely incredible. A brilliant performance by Yoshinobu Yamamoto. That really is the story. Goes 7 innings. 7 innings for Yamamoto. Gives up just 1 hit through a career-high 110 pitches. He took a no-hitter into the 6th inning. A 6th inning that it looked like it was going to get very, very interesting, where Dave Roberts was going to have to make a very tough call at some point. Highly doubt they were going to let him go the distance, but just the fact that when they needed their ace, and let me tell you this, Yoshinobu Yamamoto is the ace of the Los Angeles Dodgers. He delivered and gave the Dodgers exactly what they needed tonight. He's the first Dodger to carry a no-hitter into the 6th since Ryan Pepiot back in 2023 in Miami. He was great. I thought this team offensively not getting very much going in this one, but you fought back in a big way late. Tommy Edman, he comes off the bench, gives you an extra base hit to kick things off. That is a testament to the Dodgers' depth, to the talent that they do have, that you can bring guys off the bench that are NLCS MVPs, that are guys that are just great hitters, great players with great approaches, and it was great 2-strike hitting. It was a splitter. He goes and gets it. That scored Kike. That made a 3-2 game, and then the Dodgers were starting to cook. And, of course, you're going to intentionally walk Shohei Ohtani, and by doing that, you're putting yourself in a position where, look, Ohtani, he ends up stealing second a couple plays later, a couple batters later, but Mookie Betts, I thought, was a really good at-bat there. Almost reminded me of the at-bat that we saw from Mookie in Game 5 of the World Series, where he wasn't trying to do too much. When they took the lead in that one, it was a sac fly late, and that's all that he needed. And in this one, he did hit a sac fly that didn't lead to a run, of course, but advanced the runner. Edman was able to get a third on the play. That put runners on the corners. They intentionally walk Freddie Freeman, and then Will Smith, he gets hit by a pitch. That tied things up at 3, and then same thing with Max Muncy. Situational hitting. You don't have to go up there and try to do too much with the go-ahead run ready to score. Max Muncy goes up, gets himself into a hitter's count, a 2-1 count, and on the 4th pitch, Max Muncy gets a sac fly to give the Dodgers the win in extra innings.
From Miller. Muncy hits it in the air to center field. Doesn't matter if it's gone. It's caught in center. Shohei tags. He comes home, and now we go home.
So how about that? You got to love that for Max Muncy. It's been a rough year for him at the plate. He's had mostly downs, but to have him get that sac fly, that's something to feel really, really good about. And that's a great moment for a Dodgers team that really has been reeling. I mean, you have this great performance by Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who he needs runs. Get him some run support, okay? He heading into the start getting 2.23 runs per game, and that's the lowest in Major League Baseball, right? You look at him going out there with a performance like that, not getting the run support. They need to get him this win any way they possibly could, and they found a way to do just that. So you got to feel great for Max Muncy and the Los Angeles Dodgers, who beat the Arizona Diamondbacks. I'm sick of Gabriel Moreno, by the way. He is the new Christian Walker. I'm not happy about it. We'll talk about Tanner Scott. Not happy about it. We'll hear from Dave Roberts down in the Dodgers media room. We'll hear from the Dodgers clubhouse. But for the Dodgers, not playing their best baseball, giving up too many home runs of late. You had some great moments from Ben Kaspiris and Alex Vesia, but to find a way to scratch and claw and get a win. Look, I had people tweeting me, D-Mac, this team may never win a baseball game again. That's how bad it got. And then the Dodgers, they're victorious. They go to 30-19, a game up of the San Francisco Giants in the division. They are now 30-19. That's the third best record in the sport, and a half game back of the Philadelphia Phillies in the National League. But welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Lots to break down on this one. Drop those comments down below. The #1 Dodgers post-game show on YouTube. Definitely hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button. Let's read some comments right off the jump. B says Tanner is a Padre, Conforto is a Giant, just saying. Tay Snenden, shocking. Where have you been? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Tommy is the man from MQ. Neil Casamoto, waste of a $72 million pitcher, a.k.a. Kimbrel. Okay, so now I've got people comparing Tanner Scott to Craig Kimbrel. And look, the good news for Tanner Scott is that he had been pitching a lot better of late. Tonight wasn't his night. He made two bad pitches, both led to home runs, and it looked like it was going to cost the Dodgers this one. But I do want to kind of put a little perspective here, right? And I do want to mention this, that in the month of May, he has been the Dodgers' best reliever. Before tonight in May, in his 6 appearances, he had gone 5 2/3 innings, did not allow a run, had a 0 ERA, and had 7 strikeouts to just 1 walk. And then in April, he had gone 11 innings and a .82 ERA. So the truth is, it wasn't Tanner Scott's night. Tonight was his third blown save. But, I mean, his April and May were better than Kimbrel's ever were, okay? I still can't believe that Craig Crumble, as I affectionately nicknamed him, unfortunately, that Craig Crumble, that he was the Dodgers closer and high leverage reliever for that long, and ultimately he had the Let It Go walkout song from Frozen, and the Dodgers end up letting him go, and that's kind of how it went for Kimbrel. But Tanner Scott, not his night, and like I said, it was 2 bad pitches, high leverage situation. He's their guy in those spots. He comes out in extra innings, and unfortunately, he just wasn't able to get the job done. And you are going to see that at times in this one. You're going to have your best players, your best pitchers, your best position players, closers, relievers. They're not always going to come through. And top of the ninth, it's a very tight game, as high leverage as it can possibly be. And then the pitch to Gabriel Moreno, you can look at it. It's a 4-seamer up and in, right in the nitro zone. You're behind the count in a 1-0 game. You start him off with a slider in the same location. There's no reason to execute a pitch like that. You just did not need to. It was just bad pitch location, and that tied things at 1 late in this one.
Moreno hits it sky high. It's headed for the Dodger bullpen. Gabriel Moreno, and we're tied. Gabby's done it again.
How the heck has Gabriel Moreno hit 3 home runs this year, and they're all against the Los Angeles Dodgers? He is Christian Walker 2.0. I'm sick of Gabriel Moreno. And then you look at the other home run that he gave up, and it's the same situation to Corbin Carroll in the top of the 10th inning, a 1-1 game. You got the Manfred man, the ghost runner on second. He falls behind the count, and then it's a 4-seam fastball and it's up. He leaves it up out over in the middle of the plate, and that's a pitch that Corbin Carroll can get to. That's the one that he can drive, and he did just that.
And he does hit the ball the other way. Gives it a ride. Corbin Carroll. It's gone. Corbin Carroll, just his third hit against the Dodgers this season. And what a time forward. A 2-run homer. They were down all night 1-0. They lead it 3-1.
So give him credit. I mean, that was a really, really nice at-bat for Corbin Carroll. I, for one, though, I'm not going to let one bad appearance in the last month plus, essentially, for Tanner Scott tell me that he's not worth the $72 million. Tell me that he's a bust. Put him in the same sentence as Craig Kimbrell. Are you guys with me? Do you disagree? Nando, 3 nights, says Tanner Scott is more like Craig Kimbrell. Tanner Scott giving up 7 home runs. Alex Ochoa. I will say that when it comes to the relievers, we know that they have struggled giving up home runs. I mean, they have given up more home runs than anyone in the National League. And it is becoming a problem. It's something that needs to be addressed. And I think you hopefully get your best guys healthy, and that fixes that problem. But yeah, you definitely are right in saying that the home run ball is an issue, and that has been, when Tanner Scott hasn't come through, it has been via that home run ball that has really, really impacted him in a very negative way this season. That's something that he needs to improve on. That's because if that happens now, that can happen in October. It can happen in the postseason. And it's certainly something that I know that has to be top of mind for him. And the Dodgers are going to make the necessary adjustments. You have to see that. But the truth is, I mean, it's 4 on the year, man. I mean, 4 on the year, a 1.74 ERA. Last year, guess how many home runs he gave for the Padres after the trade? He gave up 1. How many home runs did he give up with the Marlins? He gave up 2. So heading into today, 2 home runs given up by Tanner Scott. He doubled that amount tonight. It's not something that I'm overly concerned about as far as the whole year, but you don't want to give up the home runs, and you definitely want to clean that up if you are Tanner Scott. And that really has been kind of the issue. I mean, the Dodgers in their 4-game losing streak heading into this one, you gave up 32 runs. 16 was by the starters, 16 by the relievers. Tonight, all 3 of those runs were given up by the relievers because Yamamoto was absolutely outstanding. But are you guys concerned about Tanner Scott? I am not. I think you guys are making it seem like it was Michael Scott out there throwing. No, Tanner Scott, he has been largely effective, a sub-2 ERA heading into this one. We got Mario Landavera, Yoshi Yamamania. Boom. Another classic. Yamamania is real. D-Mac, how about Casperius? What a clutch moment. That's from T-Rex over on YouTube. D-Mac, my man, Chorizo Smuggler, what is up? Dodger Z Showtime. Michael Conforto, the worst Dodger acquisition. We'll talk about Conforto. Bilal K. Why is Conforto still on this team? Can we celebrate a walk-off in extra innings? And then we'll talk about Michael Conforto. I do want to get back to a comment about Ben Casperius, because just to rewind a little bit in this one, the Dodgers offense as a whole wasn't doing very much at all tonight against Nelson. He goes 5 innings. He had 3 hits, 2 strikeouts, a walk, but just not a lot happening for LA's bats in this one. And they were able to get a little bit going there in the 4th inning. After Freddie Freeman doubled to center in the 4th, that brought up Will Smith. And I thought Smitty had one of the best at-bats of the night, worked a 3-2 count, and then he takes a 4-seamer on the inner half, and he cranks it for a double to left. That gave the Dodgers their first run of the night.
Pull to left field. That's going to get down, and it'll get all the way to the wall. Freddie comes home. Will Smith with an RBI double, and the Dodgers strike first.
There's the best catcher in baseball. And then it's a 1-0 game, and then really not a ton happening. And then let's talk a little bit about just the end of Yamamoto's start, because I know that Dave Roberts was sweating bullets over there in the Dodgers dugout, worrying if he was going to have to get the social media backlash, feel the pressure of having to leave him in the game. And look, you look at where the pitch count was. He ended with 110. It's unrealistic for a guy that missed almost 3 months last season dealing with the arm injury, shoulder injury, rotator cuff, that he was going to be left out there, especially when you look at how many Dodgers starting pitchers are injured right now. But still, I think that you owe it to yourself to go batter for batter in that situation. If you can get some ground ball outs, then maybe you strongly consider it if everything is kind of going right. But that 7th inning with Marte out at the plate, Yamamoto on the mound, he falls behind the count, and then Marte, he singled to right. A really nice job. The hose, the great arm by Andy Pages to hold him to a single that I think really is an underrated play in this game that kept the runs low for the Diamondbacks in this one. Marte did end up at second with the wild pitch with Yamamoto. But during this sequence, when Yamamoto was kind of reeling, there was a moment there between Dave Roberts and Yoshinobu Yamamoto where I think you got to give this some love. I think you got to give this some credit just because it showed the trust that Dave has in Yamamoto and that he wasn't going to be Captain Hook and just go out there and just take the ball from him. Because, look, quite frankly, with the depleted bullpen, with a Dodgers team that needed their ace to go out there and pitch deeper into this one, you needed that. You needed that. And after he walked Moreno with 2 outs that set the Diamondbacks up with runners on the corners, it was his 104th pitch of the night. Dave Roberts is sitting there in the Dodgers dugout, and then Yamamoto looks over to him, and they kind of share a little exchange where, hey, we are going to be just fine. And he ends up getting his way out of it. And that's kind of growth. I think that's major growth. I mean, look at this moment right here with Dave Roberts and Yamamoto there in the 7th. Just kind of looks at him. You see the look. Head nod. You're good. Staying there. And then what does he do? He rewards his manager for trusting him. He rewards his manager for leaving him out there, gets the big strikeout to end the inning. You see the twirl, and Yamamania is on.
An ace on the mound. 2 on, 2 out. Here's the 2-2. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, 7 shutout innings.
7 shutout innings for Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Big strikeout to get out of the inning. And that's what I love about Yamamoto. He's such a warrior. His competitive fire burns so bright. And I love the fact that he goes to the cutter to strike out Smith because he had the curveball working on both sides of the plate. He had the fastball working, getting punch outs, freezing hitters because he was slowing them down to speed them up later in counts. But he didn't throw very many sliders at all. In fact, he threw no sliders. So it just shows that Yamamoto knows what's working for him on a given start, and he's going to go to that. He was great. No runs, 7 innings. Gives up the hit, 9 strikeouts, 2 walks, 110 pitches. His ERA rate goes down to 1.86. So let me know down below in the comment section. Call it right now. Is Yoshinobu Yamamoto going to win the National League Cy Young? Also, throw out a grade for his start. And then we're going to keep going because I want to give some love to Ben Kasperius and Alex Vesia stepping up in the highest of leverage situations in this one. We got Juice Narrows. Is Eric Gagne available? Carl, come on, D-Mac. Scott is another Lance Lynn. First of all, if you listen closely, Lance Lynn just gave up another home run.
Finish him.
But no, he is not. Good point. But not concerned about Scott at all. You guys want to talk some Conforto? We'll get to Conforto. Bilal K, I want my team to win as we all should. Conforto, automatic out. That's from Carl. Funky Muncy is the bomb. Yoshi is a dog. That's from Rosemary Rodriguez. Yeah, he is a dog, and he is getting that Dodger dog of the game.
Dodger dog of the game.
Just an incredible performance. I mean, this is the first time in a long time the Dodgers have a true clear-cut ace. A few years back, Julio and Kirsch, no, and then Buehler. I mean, guys that have really just assumed that role, right? I mean, this is the first time in a long time that the Dodgers have that true, surefire, hey, I am the ace of the staff. Tyler Glasnow was supposed to be that, but because of injuries, he hasn't been that guy. Yoshinobu Yamamoto was supposed to be an elite pitcher that was worth $325 million, and he has been better than advertised. He is the ace of the Los Angeles Dodgers, and there is no doubt about it. In a rotation that has talented pitchers, Cy Youngs, All-Stars, he's the best one they have. If that changes when Shohei comes back or Blake Snell comes back and pitches well, if Glasnow can stay on the mound for longer than a couple of months, if Roki can realize his potential, then we could revisit that conversation. But the truth is, after what we saw last year in the postseason, against the Yankees, against the Mets, against the Padres, in the NLDS, Game 5, stepping up, until that changes, Yoshinobu Yamamoto is the best Dodgers starting pitcher, really, if we're being honest, that has a chance to win the Cy Young since Clayton Kershaw. I mean, you've had guys that have been really, really good. Of course, Zach Greinke in that stretch, Hyunjin Ryu in that stretch, Julio Urias in that stretch, Walker Buehler in that stretch, and Buehler in 2021 was the Cy Young favorite as late as August, so he was really, really good. But this is a special pitcher that is not even in his prime. I think he's entering his prime. I think he's right there as far as picking up MLB information and knowledge from big league pitching and coaching and staffs and find a way to put that all together. And that's what's making him a guy that he is vying for a Cy Young this season. He has already said multiple times that, hey, no Japanese pitcher has ever won a Cy Young, and I want to be able to do that. So he wants a Cy Young, and he's got a lot of work to do for sure, but tonight he made a statement, and that statement was, hey, guys, we're on a 4-game losing streak. You guys are having issues with the pitchers. I'm going to step up. I'm going to shove. He did that tonight. Here was Yoshinobu Yamamoto speaking to reporters after the game.
Yoshi, you were excellent tonight, but just when you look at the result of this game, for this team to battle back, to pick up the win, just how big was that for this group?
今日まず素晴らしいピッチングでしたけども、同点になって逆転されて、そこから今日勝てたっていうのはチームとしてはどういう意味があるでしょう。
逆転、一度されましたけど、最後まで、打線つながって、なんとか全員で勝てたので、すごくいい試合だったと思います。
That was a great game, you know, because they got tied and then flipped the game. But we came back and winning a game like this is great.
For you personally, just 7 shutout innings, but you were pretty reliant on the curveball. Was that game plan or was that just feel and execution of your pitch?
今日、7回シャットアウトだったんですけども、その中でやっぱカーブっていうのは、山本さんの中で重要だったんですか、今日投げる中で。
そうですね、カーブだったりカットボールだったり、ウィルが、なんていうんだろう、すごく考えて、うまく配球してくれたので、とにかくウィルを信じて思い切り、投げていきました。
Will was calling the great games, and I trusted him, and then I made my best pitches.
Were you aware that you were throwing a no-hitter?
Sorry.
Were you aware that you were throwing a no-hitter for 6, and what was sort of going through your head over the course of the outing?
途中までノーヒットで行ってたっていうことで、ノーヒットノーランとかちょっと考えたりはしましたか。
やっぱり9イニングはやっぱすごく遠いので、130球ぐらい投げれたらですけど、球数も順調にいってたんで、はい、とにかく目の前のバッターに集中して投げてました。
So completed full 9 innings is really hard, and then because also today because my pitch count was going up, so I wasn't really thinking about it.
So Yoshinobu Yamamoto, just an incredible outing. And look, I mean, this is a guy that could throw a perfect game at some point too. I mean, he had faced 10 Arizona hitters before giving up his first base runner with the Marte walk. And it just shows you he's a special guy. He's a special guy, and then to stay out there the way he did, it was definitely a night that he needed. I mean, he walked Marte in the 4th. That was the first base runner to reach for the Diamondbacks, and then he was able to buckle down. This one was actually his first quality start since May 2nd against the Braves. So he's definitely back to being that ace-level guy. And I see a lot of people in the comments. Okay, I like this. Hello, Moto. Hello, Moto. This is from, give some love right there. Hello, Moto. A.M. Sanchez. We've got Tanner Scott did and / almost gave the game away. He did. Not a good night. But look, sometimes you got to have your pitchers pick you up. Some nights the hitters have to pick up the pitchers. And tonight it was a combination of both, right? Yamamoto, he held it down while the Dodgers offense didn't do very much, giving him just 1 run. And then the Dodgers pitchers, when it comes to Alex Vesia and Ben Kaspiris, they stepped up in a big way. And fortunately, the Dodgers' best reliever of the season did not have his best moment, giving up a couple of home runs to tie things up. But I think that another massive takeaway in this one is Ben Kaspiris. He is the Dodgers' high-leverage reliever against right-handed pitchers until further notice. And, of course, you're going to get Evan Phillips back. That'll change things. Kirby Yates, he's going to come back at some point. He's on the IL with a grade 1 hamstring. That's going to change things. But I was so impressed with this Dodgers pen that has been overworked, has been taxed to perform and execute the way they did in a losing streak in a tight game. For Alex Vesia to come out and didn't pitch his very best. You had a bunt single. I mean, how about this? The Diamondbacks had bunted once all season, and they bunt twice in consecutive innings. So for Alex Vesia to come out, he gives it the leadoff double, gives up a couple hits, and then Ben Kaspiris comes in with the bases loaded after Alex Vesia struggled to get out of that inning. They end up intentionally walking Marte to load the bases to get to Ben Kaspiris with the bases loaded. And Benny C put on a masterclass of an at-bat. Just an outstanding sequence, getting ahead in the count. Slider, attacking in the zone. Then he got a pitch timer violation for a ball. Didn't let it phase him. Threw a couple of balls, had a foul ball, and then on the 3-2, he stuck with the plan. The plan against Gurriel was we are going to stay sliders down the zone, and when your slider is nastier than a gas station bathroom, like Benny C's is, you can get away with doing just that. It was fantastic pitch execution, and he strikes out Gurriel, a.k.a. Shohei Ohtani's son, and he gets out of the inning.
2 out, full count, nowhere to put Gurriel. He struck him out and leaves them loaded.
Just a great appearance, and I'm very excited about Ben Kaspiris. He looks like he's going to be a guy that, maybe he wasn't going to stick because if they were healthy and guys like Kopech and Phillips and all these guys were healthy at the beginning of the season, he'd probably be starting down the minor leagues, and he would be on the OKC Express, having him go up and down and using him when you needed to. Then when you had the injuries to the starting pitchers, they were building him up to possibly have him go 4 or 5 innings. Now they need him as their best high leverage guy. So give credit to Ben Kaspiris for being able to be flexible, for being able to step in and give them valuable premium performances and get the job done. His ERA now 3.23 on the season in 30 2/3 innings for Ben Kaspiris. Very, very impressed with his night. Okay, so let's open up to you guys. We're going to hear from Tanner Scott in a few minutes here, hear what he has to say. But let's go to you down below in the comment section. I'm going to read like 30 comments right now, okay? It's a walk-off. Feels like the season's really here. Even though we're a couple months in, we're got the losing streak, got the injuries, talking some trades. We are in it. Vincent, does Yamamoto have a brother? I actually do not know the answer to that question, believe it or not. I will find out for you and show you tomorrow on tomorrow's show. Conforto needs to come off the bench in the minors. Man, you guys are really giving it to Michael Conforto in this one, which is pretty apropos because you guys have been on the attack from him. And tonight, look, Michael Conforto goes 0 for 3. Batting average down to 164. Dave Roberts is giving Michael Conforto those opportunities. He's not making the most of them. Michael Conforto tonight, and look, a lot of the Dodgers were hitting, and bottom of the third, he strikes out, four-seamer, down and in, and look, it's a pitch that he's got to get to. He's got to make contact with it, and bottom of the fifth, batting leadoff in that inning, first pitch, grounds to second. I think it's just frustrating. The ground out to second, the rolling over to the right that you kind of get sick of for sure. And then bottom of the seventh inning, he comes up with a runner on first. Max Muncy had singled earlier in the inning, and then 1-2 count, he lines to second. So look, there's three at-bats, and then Dave Roberts has already kind of told us how they're going to handle Conforto. And the truth of the matter is he's going to get 2-3 at-bats, and then if there's a matchup that they like, they're going to hit for him. I mean, that's just the case. I mean, Teoscar Hernandez ended up hitting for Rojas, and Rojas came in when they mixed things around when Kike went to left and then Edman went to center. So, yeah, I mean, they've already showed us with Michael Conforto how they're going to use him. And there's no doubt about it that Michael Conforto has had a bad start to his season. And he's gotten a lot of opportunities, and he's a player that statistically is 30% below league average. He's a 164 hitter, couple of home runs, 9 doubles. They're going to give him more time. If it doesn't work out, he's not going to be on this team. It's as simple as that. But what do you guys think they should do with Michael Conforto? Because for me, the way I look at it now is you gave him $17 million. Well, guess what? They're paying Chris Taylor $13.3 million to not be on this team, to use that roster spot to develop a Hae-Sung Kim, to make sure that they have enough runway for their young players. So, look, $17 million at this point, you're down to $14 million, something in that range. And look, if he doesn't hit, he doesn't hit. Like, let's not forget, what did the Dodgers sign Jason Hayward to? After they were able to get him on the league minimum? He was a great story, a renaissance year. He ends up signing with the Dodgers on a 1-year deal, around $9 million, had some incentives in there. They DFA'd him. He ended up on the Astros. They signed Noah Syndergaard. Didn't work out. They gave him away for Rosario, right? I mean, you have so many examples of the Dodgers willing to move off of guys that aren't performing, and I personally tend to believe that they're going to do the same thing with Michael Conforto if it doesn't work out. But the last thing you want to do is do it too early. Daddy Warbuck says Conforto is the rally killer, bro. The rally killer, no way to even, no way, not even a soap opera, no game show, bro. I would not put money on this. Send Conforto to AAA. Sign Joe Kelly. Kudos to Benny C. Yeah, I want to give a lot of love to Benny C in this one. Neil, in 1988, we had Alejandro Pena to save the Dodgers. Jay Howe was not a good stopper, nor was Jesse Orozco. I love that. Love my 1988 Dodgers, the Miracle Men. Court the Crusader. How about Smitty batting .500 with runners in scoring position? Yeah, I think that the plan for Will Smith has been great this season. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I think Will Smith and Dalton Rushing are the best catching tandem in baseball right now. And now the Dodgers can be comfortable with not playing Will Smith 3 games in a row like Dave Roberts has said he does not want to do. Because Dalton Rushing, the 2 games he started, he's had the 2 hardest hit balls in those games. The pop time, the throws, he just looked the part. And now Will Smith this season is hitting .339 with a .455 on base, slugging .508, a .172 weighted runs created plus, 4 home runs, 9 doubles. But guess what? He is hopefully going to have some more left in the tank this season. Hopefully he's going to make the All-Star team, but also be able to preserve that and make sure that, hey, he's not going to hit 200 for the last 3 months of the season. He's not going to play through an ankle injury that's going to hurt his swing. You are protecting your investment. When you sign a guy for 10 years, $140 million, and it was the first 10-year contract ever given out to a catcher, you want to make sure you can preserve that, especially because he wants to catch, and the Dodgers are getting the best version of Will Smith at the plate. And now what you need is Dalton Rushing to stay consistent and this offense to not miss a beat when he's not in there. And then I guarantee you that Smith, who hit 143 in the postseason last year, did have a home run against the Padres. He had a home run against the Mets. He had a bomb in Game 4 against the Yankees, but it wasn't the best version of Will Smith. I think that is the goal this season. How they managed him has been perfect so far. But here was Will Smith down in the Dodgers clubhouse talking about the Dodgers win in extra innings.
How you and Yoshinobu navigated through their lineup just so efficiently. What was working so well for you guys tonight?
Yeah, he was just mixing. His curveball was really good tonight. His cutter, turned out to be really good tonight as well. Obviously, he's always got good fastball command. His changeup for a splitter was really good. So, yeah, just mixing it up, keeping him off balance, going up, down, in, out, all that. He just executed. It was really fun tonight.
Was leaning on that curveball, was that more kind of game plan, or was that just kind of how it was playing and how he was executing it?
Yeah, it was just kind of how it was playing. He was striking it really well. He was getting it below with 2 strikes. So he was kind of, rolling with it.
Like those last couple innings, just kind of the momentum swings. Was there frustration in the dugout going into the bottom of the 10th? Was there composure? How'd you guys kind of build that inning like that?
Yeah, we just kept fighting. Obviously had the big shutdown inning in the 8th to leave their man on, nobody out in the 3rd and stuff. It's not fun giving up a tying run in the 9th. Just battling back. Got down 3-1 again. Battled back, put some good IBs up. Tommy got it started, and once he finished it.
Exactly. The fact that they just went with the curveball the way it was playing, that's what we talked about here, is that, hey, sometimes you're going to see his slider better. You're going to see his splitter working better. You're going to see the fastball, and they're going to identify that early in starts and go with that. And that's exactly what they did. They had the curveball working, so they went to the well again, because it was so effective. And that's when you're going to see the no-hitter in the perfect game from Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Is you're going to see hopefully some more ground ball outs and the splitter working better and the slider working better. And then he'll have hopefully the pitch count available to be able to go deep into this game. Yeah, I see people talking about Tommy Edman, Tommy Tanks. Look, I really think you could make the case that Tommy Edman's at-bat was the at-bat of the game. 10th inning, extra innings, 0-2 count, double down the line. That changed the game right there. That put the Dodgers in a position where it makes it a one-run game. You're at home. You have better players. You've got the crowd behind you, and that is what ultimately, I think, flipped this thing and just changed the momentum. So Tommy Edman's great, man. I mean, just like the NLCS, just like the World Series. I mean, his ability to get big base hits in big situations, just incredible at-bat for him. I just think that Tommy Edman is the gift that keeps on giving, man. This guy is just a straight-up baller. He's a ball player. He's a gamer, and he's been getting clutch hits for the Dodgers for years to come. But okay, so now let's hear from Tanner Scott down in the Dodgers clubhouse. A lot of you are not happy with Scott after he gave up the game tying and the go-ahead home run in the 9th and 10th.
When you look at tonight, it was an uncharacteristic night for you. Just what do you think kind of gave them the edge in the at-bats going up against you, those 2 long balls?
Leaving it too much in the zone. I mean, you never want to see the ball go out of the park, especially late in the game, and what Yama was doing out there was incredible. And then Vess, Ben, and then Wanda saving me. So, I mean, yeah, it's just too much on the plate and leaving them good pitches to hit.
Ultimately, you guys obviously came back and won this one, but for you personally, is there some more frustration, especially just knowing what this week has looked like for the team?
Oh, definitely. I mean, we needed to win bad, and luckily we have a pretty good lineup, so it saved us.
So for both those fastballs, were you wanting those more glove side, or were you wanting those more up?
I mean, I was just trying to get it up and in. I mean, Carroll, I don't want to make him comfortable, and I left it out over, and the Moreno one just left it too much on the plate.
Has this stuff kind of felt like it's been picking up lately? Like, how have you just kind of felt like where you're at?
I feel good. I mean, stuff's good. It's just too much on the plate today.
I like that. I respect that. That's exactly what it was. Like, I mean, trust me, I'm someone who likes to, I could be an archaeologist the way I like to dig and dig and dig. But with him, he just left his heaters out over the plate, like we mentioned again and again on this show, and you got to give the Diamondbacks hitters credit. They capitalized. They took advantage of it. Look, so many times during games, I want you to start doing this if you're watching these games every single at bat, is think about all the mistakes that pitchers make that hitters don't capitalize on. They foul it off, they take it, they ground out, they fly out. Think about how many times, right? Again, throughout the course of a game. Tonight, though, the Diamondbacks, they capitalize on those mistakes, and Tanner Scott, he was the victim of it. And tonight, thankfully, like you mentioned, hey, Anthony Bonda got out of it. It was a pretty nice appearance there from Anthony Bonda, and the Dodgers offense, they stepped up in a big way too. But okay, we're here from Dave Roberts in a couple seconds here, but let's do some comments. I'll read 10 here. Before we get to Dave Roberts. Look for a comment of the show. Smitty is a total stud from LSU Jones. Jake Miranda over on YouTube. Hell yeah. Dr. V, sign Kelly and Honeywell. They can at least be serviceable versus all these random clowns they throw out there. So I'll tell you why they're not probably going to do that unless it gets really bad, is that they don't have options. Honeywell and Joe Kelly do not have options, so you can't just send them down to the minor league level. So it impacts their optionality for sure, but we'll see how things. Ron Figg says Joe Kelly's new hat is great. Yeah, it is. We don't give an F hat is awesome. We've got Sonic DMAC. Can you explain to me why Anthony Bonda, who got only one batter out, got the win instead of Yama? I mean, that's why the wins and loss stat is one of the almost archaic stats that you can think of that doesn't do anything that to reflect why a pitcher is good or not. I mean, that's the truth of the matter is. So, I mean, the truth is if you have the lead and then it shifts, and that's what determines who gets a win, right? So, I mean, I don't know. Are you guys big pitcher wins guys? Let me know down below. Let's go. We got down below in the comments section. Here we go. Yeah, no, it's silly. I mean, I could DFA that stat if you want. I mean, all it is look, the pitch. It's basically the pitcher who last pitched prior to the half inning when the team was up and maintained that lead, and he doesn't give it up, he's going to get the win. So, yeah, I mean, that's just kind of how it works. I mean, that's as simple as that, right? I mean, as a pitcher gets a win when he takes the lead and they never give it back, and then they got him the lead, so he gets the win. So, yeah, I mean, that's how it works. And when you lose a lead, and you're not a part of the decision. But, yeah, I could spend a whole show on why I don't. I mean, the only thing I think you can think of as far as starting pitchers, if it reflects the best thing about a win, I guess, for a starting pitcher is that to qualify for it means that you went 5 innings and you went out there and you pitched. But then I think, too, I'd rather measure quality starts, right, which is going 6 innings and giving 3 runs or less. So, yeah. Scott is more expensive. We should have kept Jack Flaherty. Rosemary Rodriguez. This is from Aesthetic Delta. Rosemary Rodriguez. People act like closers can't have off nights. Neil Cosmoto. Scott is mediocre for $72 million. 3rd blown save. Let's see how he performs in October. That's why they got him. Go ask Shohei Ohtani, who struggled mightily against him. Yeah, by the way, I've heard people talking about Kodai Senga. Yeah, Senga's having a great year. Senga is having a great year for the Mets. DFA Knack Run Derby. Come on now. Knack Run Derby. Conforto bats uncomfortable at the plate. Carl, he admitted it was a screw-up. Landon Knack's interview pissed me off. He actually described himself as having just a few mistakes. We got to trade him. That's from Jay Bullitt. Tommy has been clutch from ET. Sonic, what is up? Appreciate that. Sports cards, report cards. The offense needs to do their part too. They can't be only scoring one lousy run all the way to the 9th. Look, it was an off night for the Dodgers bats, for sure. Give Nelson credit. He was pitching well. They were going tick for tat on pitch count, him and Yamamoto early on in this one. Jose Aguirre, Bonda didn't even get the win. It was Scott. Yeah, that's the thing too. I mean, when you look at wins, I mean, that should be the kind of the ultimate reflection there. That should be the ultimate reflection there. But Bonda does get the win. I mean, Bonda does get the win in this one because you change over and then they take the lead. He was the last guy that was out there. So that's how that goes. But yeah, I mean, his last pitcher, right? I mean, Delirium 9, no, we're not pitcher wins fans, but we know many sports writers are. Low IQ will factor that in when voting for Cy Young. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when DeGrom won in 2018, that hopefully was kind of the end of that for sure. You said tit for tat. Yeah. All right. So let's hear from Dave Roberts. He's down in the Dodgers media room reacting to the Dodgers snapping that 4-game losing streak and winning in extra innings?
Was fantastic. We needed every bit of it. Certainly we pushed him more than we have all year, and he earned that opportunity. I thought tonight he was just getting ahead of hitters all night long. The split, the curveball really came into play today. But that's a very tough lineup to navigate, and he just competed his tail off, and going 7 innings, set us up certainly to win a ball game. And I thought early we swung the bats well, didn't get anything to show for it, but it certainly turned in that 9th inning. But to come away with the win was huge.
Did you do something different in regard to just feeling like a must-win for this group?
I don't know if it was a must-win, but certainly given Yoshi's outing, I think that you could almost you don't want to waste that great of an outing. And so it was just good to see after going down 2 runs in that 9th inning to come back and, Tommy putting together a really nice at-bat, getting a hit on an off day and coming in there late into the game, playing a role. And, just kind of obviously passing the baton. There's some free passes in there. But all night I thought we had some really good at-bats. I thought Teo took a really good at-bat. I thought Will took some really good at-bats. And then ultimately Max to, driving the winning run was big for all of us.
How tough is that kind of inning put together? Like you said, when you're in danger of wasting on a start, you have lost a couple games in a row coming into this. How tough is it to kind of sum that kind of inning put together?
It's tough, and obviously, we had Shohei steal second base there and taking a chance that they might take the bat out of Freddie's hands. But in that situation, we really don't have any pitching left. And so we got to play for the win there. And I think for us right there, a tie ball game, I don't think would have ended well for us. And so to kind of keep the line moving, to get that winning run on second base was really pivotal for us tonight.
You used the word ace before the game about Yoshinobu, and you don't use that lightly. How has he defined it, not just in this game, but also throughout the season?
I do kind of pick, I use that word very carefully and cautiously because there's a lot of that comes with that. And certainly track record. I think there's just the ability to go deep in games when you need it, to handle left and right, to be a top-end guy. There's very few in the big leagues. And so I just see a confident player. And even that Pavin Smith at bat where he got over 100 pitches right there, he wanted that last hitter. And so I like looking at guys and trusting the guy that's on the mound.
I love it. He absolutely is the Dodgers ace. There's no doubt about it. I think he's the Dodgers' best starting pitcher since Clayton Kershaw. I think he's that good. I think he's that talented. I think he's got the moxie, the fire, the passion, and he showed that once again tonight. So that is the most important thing. As far as a must-win, by the way, I mean, I was just joking. By the way, Chorizo Smuggler says, D-Mac, can I get a bruh? My cousin said trade Conforto for Altuve. You want a bruh? You get a bruh, especially I don't want Altuve on my team. Get that guy off my baseball team, never, for sure. I don't want to step on him in the clubhouse.
Bruh.
So, yeah. But, yeah, as far as Yamamoto goes, and, like, he is the ace, right? He is the ace of the staff. I mean, this is a time-honored tradition as a Dodgers starter. Clayton Kershaw didn't get run support for long stretches, it felt like, when he was at the peak of his powers. So Yamamoto's going to learn that, yeah, you're getting a little over 2 runs per game in run support. That is the time-honored tradition of being a Dodgers ace. But as far as a must-win, I mean, I think, yeah, there's – come on, man. This is baseball, 162 games. A must-win in May, that's craziness. I mean, think about it. The 1953 New York Yankees, they lost 9 games in a row, and they won. How about that 2006 Cardinals team? Who remembers that? They lost 8 in a row twice. How about that White Sox team in 2005? They lost 8 in a row, almost blew a 16-game lead in the division. So there was a lot of teams that have lost. I mean, look at the 2017 Dodgers. They lost 11 in a row. They lost 16-7. They made it to the World Series. So the truth is, if the Dodgers lost tonight, there's a pretty decent chance that they would get to the World Series. So I'm not putting a lot on that one. Okay, guys, a couple more here. We'll get out of here. Welcome to the extended Dodgers Nation post-game show. A couple more here. What up, BC? What's up, Valahaya Sports Talk? What's up, Rosemary Rodriguez says, it was a must-win for my mental health. That's the comment of the show from Rosemary Rodriguez. All right, guys, but that's going to do it for this episode of the Dodgers Nation post-game show. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. Actually, I have a super chat here, a $4.99 super chat from JBWRC. Scale from 1 to 10, how sure are you that Conforto is not a giant spy like Jason Schmidt? I'll give it just because I love tinfoil hats. I'm a conspiracy theory lover myself. I'll give it a 1. I'll give it a 1 just because let's have some fun with it, okay? I'm still going to believe in Michael Conforto until the organization moves on. I believe in how about this? I believe in the process of Michael Conforto. It's not that I believe, he's going to start hitting 400 for the rest of the way and be this great hitter. No, look, a couple of things you have to know, though. He was fantastic in the second half of last season. So if you moved off him now and he does that for another team and you're paying for that, you don't want that, right? You don't want that. You want to see if you can get that second half Conforto on your team, and hopefully it comes sooner than later. And when I say about the process of it, I want to see if you can get him right as it goes along. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for this episode. My name is Doug McKain. Follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. Also, look out for the Discord. Look over the Discord. You definitely want to do that. The Discord has been so much fun in the chat. The Discord is popping. It has thousands and thousands of Dodgers fans rocking with us all night long in the chat. And what's cool about it is you talk about these ups and downs for these emotions that you're feeling. You feel that all the time. You feel that all the time in the chat. And that is cool because you get to see people just kind of look. Baseball is 162 games of ups and downs. And the thing too is when I watch these games, I get really, really hungry. And when I get really, really hungry, you guys know what I do. I go to Factor. Factor is my go-to for in-game meals. And Dodgers Night just got even better because now you don't have to miss a single pitch worrying about dinner. With Factor, you can enjoy fresh, chef-prepared meals ready in just 2 minutes. No prep, no cleanup. That means more time locked into games and less time in the kitchen. Whether you're watching from home or heading to the ballpark, Factor's got you covered with over 45 weekly options from Protein Plus to Calorie Smart to Keto. My favorite is the garlic herb chicken and creamy tomato risotto, elite fuel for game day and during games. And right now, Dodgers fans get an exclusive offer. Go to factormeals.com/Dodgers50off and use code Dodgers50off to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. Factor Meals makes it easy to eat well, save time, and cheer harder. Let's go, Dodgers. So definitely go to Factor Meals. It is where it is at. All right, awesome. Blau case is that awesome. But Greg, does Factor have tortas? I don't know, but I'm going to definitely get my own torta for sure. I love it. But all right, guys, Daddy says, yo, D-Mac, I don't see tortas in the Factory Meals. They're going to add one for sure. Charlene says D-Mac cheating on tortas. Okay, awesome. But, yep, guys, you know I love you, but I got to run. Check out the breakdown I'm going to drop of this game a little later and in the morning. Tomorrow I'm going to be at the game in the Dodgers clubhouse trying to get some interviews beforehand. I'm going to be dropping one about Anthony Bonda just in the podcast form. So if you're not listening on podcast, go to wherever your podcast, subscribe. I'm going to be dropping exclusive Anthony Bonda because it's only audio form because you only have audio before the games. And then also a post-game show from Dodger Stadium tomorrow. So tomorrow will be at Dodger Stadium for the post-game show. So be on the lookout for that. It'll be a little later just because I got to go to the clubhouse, got to talk to Doc and the gang and see what's going on. But that is going to do it, guys. Remember, nothing, absolutely nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
I don't care if I standing at the windup. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed a perfect game.